Kingdom. It's time for All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams.
Steve, everybody welcome. We're doing a little Chiefs training camp update today. We're on day 3. Day 3 wrapped up this morning, Steve. It was a very uneventful day, as you would expect. Mahomes didn't come out today. He got the day off. A lot of the veterans got the day off. Mike Evans got the day off. Shane Bichelle.
It's Friday. They were taking it easy on the guys.
Shane Bichelle, I don't think, got the day off. But, Mahomes wasn't out there, so it wasn't as hype as usual. But we're just going to update you guys on what did happen. There's not a lot, but that's what we're here for. We can't make it more exciting than it is. It's just exciting because it's football, and football's back. But
it's something, baby.
Yeah, man. Let's just jump in. Look at that beautiful day they had today. A little overcast.
Wasn't as hot today as it had been, was it?
Right. It was not as hot. Here was a picture of the weather this morning. It was 67. Had to feel like a breeze out there, baby.
I wish, by some act of God, when we're there on the 15th of August, that we get this morning.
Right. Look at that bottom row, though. They start practice on Sunday, 91. Monday, 94. Tuesday, 97. Wednesday, 99. Satan himself is going to be leaving St. Joe. He's done. It's too hot for him. He's out of St. Joe. These guys better have enjoyed today. But before we get going, there was some news. The veterans are going to report today. They moved it up. It's not tomorrow now. They're going to bring them in today. It says on Friday, the remaining veterans on the 90-man offseason roster will join the team at Missouri Western State University. The veteran report date was originally slated for Saturday, July 22nd, which is tomorrow, but the team pushed it up, and players will begin arriving Friday afternoon and evening. Veterans are not scheduled to begin practice until Sunday when open practices kick off. So it's going to be hot.
I wonder what that was about.
I think they just wanted to get them there, get them acclimated, just so it didn't feel so rushed, I guess. But here it was. This was the wrap-up for the day. Matt McMullen, this is a wrap-up on day 3. Anthony Cook tallied a terrific pass breakup deep down the field. Chamari Connor also made a great play on a pass breakup on an underneath route. Steve, 2 pass breakups was plays of the day. That's how uneventful it was on day 3. I mean,
it is what it is. But hey, it's good to see Chamari Connor out there getting some work in, doing some good things, because I think there's a lot riding on that kid. They moved up in the draft to get him, and a lot of people are speculating that he could be somewhat of a replacement for L'Jarius Sneed if they can't sign him back. And they talk about how he can play in many different positions and everything like that. So I mean, he's got to get as much work as he can get in. Like I said, there's a lot on his shoulders. So.
Yeah, Chamari. I think Chamari's slated for a kind of a breakout kind of camp. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him a little bit, saying that he could be a little overrated, could be a little bit this and that. I think he's going to prove some people wrong. I think he's got a lot of dog in him. I think he'll get out there. He will compete. That's one thing he will do. And when the pads come on, I think that's when you're going to see Chamari shine a little bit. Right. But yeah, that was the 2 big plays, man.
Yeah, but him, they moved up for him and took him in the 4th round? Is that where they grabbed Chamari Connor?
Yeah, off the top of my head, I think Wanye was 3.
A lot of people did not have him graded that high in the draft. So, I mean, a lot of people think it's impossible to reach past the 1st or 2nd round, which is weird. But I mean, if you could call it that, they did kind of reach. They went and grabbed him a lot earlier than people had him graded at and everything. So, with that comes some responsibility to actually prove why they did that kind of thing. Because BJ Thompson has that same, stigma as well, because they could have waited. We had them taking him in the 7th round, and they took him in the 5th. So a lot of people are expecting a lot out of these guys because they were obviously Veach guys. They were targeted by him and Andy Reid, and they moved up and got them. So I think people are expecting them to do something.
Yeah. Well, this is all rookies. This is where they got their 3 days to get everything, get reacclimated, get the playbook coming back. Pacheco was back out there today, though. He was back out wearing his shell. He's wearing his yellow
Pacheco's
jersey.
Out there every day. You know what? He ain't going to miss a day, is he?
Him and Rasheed were having a time today, baby. They were feeling the weather. They're having a good day. Mahomes wasn't out there, as because he gets the day off or whatever. But Pacheco did go. Pacheco's just one of those guys, man. We seen our boy Felix Anudike, he was out there. Wanye was out there. Man, it was, I don't know. I think they just had a good day today. I think the day felt more like a walkthrough kind of day. It just didn't feel.
Probably.
Because,
less people.
Yeah, everybody's coming in.
Cooler weather.
Right. Well, after practice, they had some pressers. Today, we've been hearing from different people here and there. Today we heard from Deneric Prince. He was first up on the presser. PJ Green reports Deneric
interesting
Prince,
mic placement, by the way.
right? Again,
pick up that mic.
The furry penis mic. I'm not down with it. We called this out yesterday. It's finally catching on today. People in Chiefs Twitter now is calling this out. Yeah, it's about time you guys are calling out the fuzzy penis.
Who did
mic.
this?
Pete
Who
Sweeney.
thought that was a good idea?
Look, I don't know if it was Pete Sweeney that did it, but I messaged Pete and I was like, Pete, can you fix the mic, dude? This looks horrible. I was like, this just looks like giant fuzzy wieners, and we don't want it. Anyway, PJ says Deneric Prince come out and said he feels like he's an every down back that can do it all. That's what he come out and said today. And he also said he likes to fall asleep reading his playbook. He could also be in line for some returns this year, which we had already talked about. And then
so
here's Pete,
hey,
by the way.
Real quick before we move on, is he calling Andy Reid's playbook boring? Is that what Deneric Prince is doing?
No, calling it. He's saying it's so hard to figure out. He just passes out.
He said, "Man, this is weak. I'm going to sleep."
Yeah, he's like, this book sucks. I'm going to sleep. There's no good characters. No, he's studying hard, Steve. He's studying hard. Pete Sweeney reports that he said he believes he can be an every down back. He thinks the most challenging part of the college to pro game has been the playbook. Obviously, this dude can't even stay awake. His emphasis is on technique. Yeah, we make jokes. Deneric Prince is a smart kid. I think he's going to figure it out. We've seen him do some drills yesterday. He's rumbling around. He's looking good. I mean, he's doing a lot of work. Throw up some of the work he's doing. This is what he looked like yesterday. I mean, he looks swift-footed. One more pop. He looks swift-footed. He looks like he's ready to be there. I think him and Pacheco are going to be a nice little combination. I don't know if that'll be this year. I'm seeing a lot of buzz going around the kingdom today. People are releasing some pre-depth charts. I seen some guy throw out, I don't remember who it was, maybe Zach Eisen from, I don't know if he did some Arrowhead addict work. I don't know what it is. He kept Clyde completely off the 53. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Clyde, we just got news that Pacheco is recovering from multiple surgeries. They said they may ease him in. We didn't even know if he's going to start the season on the PUP list. And we're going to cut the only good veteran we got besides Jerick McKinnon. And you're basically
going to cut Clyde
if you
regardless.
cut Clyde, it's like $2 million in dead cap or something. If you keep him, he's only worth $3 something. So you get a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire with 4 years of experience. You're gonna get him for like $800K. Like Melvin Gordon just signed a contract this year for $3 million. Where are you gonna get a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire for $800K? Like he's making the roster. I think Clyde's a lock at this point.
Yeah, that's not a question. I feel like anybody that's not doing that's just trying to predict the future, right? Like,
like is he going to get traded?
Like a trade or something? Because I mean, I really don't think that anyone in their right mind would think that he would just not make the squad. So
Clyde can't get traded. I don't see. Look, there's no trade value for Clyde, to be honest. There really is not. He's not proven he's healthy. He's a first-round bust. He's got that stigma with him. You're not going to trade for a guy that you think may or may not be healthy for the rest of the year. And then if you do, what are you giving up? A 6-round pick?
Right.
If you're Brett Veach, are you going to take a 6-round pick in a year that Pacheco and you still got Jerick McKinnon, who's not been the healthiest guy his entire career, and you got Pacheco rehabbing, may not get to have his full workload for the first few weeks? You're going to trade a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire for a 6-round pick in the middle of a repeat, like in the middle of your dynasty? You're not doing that. You're not doing it.
Not happening. Real quick before we keep on moving on with the camp update, just want to shout out everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for checking it out, hanging out with us. See Chief Kelsey in the house, Casey Fan Dan, Lewis Cutbirth, Gary, John Usher, KCB Zombie Mowers, Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho, I don't know if this is true or not, but are you Julia Gulia? Like she disappeared and Ruby Soho showed up, and I can't figure out what's happening. Cobra Kai, Ty in the house, baby. What's up, Ty? And so thanks for being here. And Mike, let's move forward with this camp update, what there is of one.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk some more. We're back to the mic. We're back to the pressers. Keandre Coburn was next up. Keandre Coburn was reported. PJ Green, he's a large man. He's a large man. The Texas alum is learning the playbook and hoping to carve out a row. Also been talking to some K-State alums on the team, and he said he's undefeated against K-State. Texas Longhorns, K-State. There's the rivalry. Him and Felix going at it probably, I guess. Echo Boy Doe's out there. He played at K-State. It's all fun. We're seeing that the pattern here. We're seeing the pattern here, though, right? The pattern is playbook. All these rookies know it's the playbook. You got to learn the playbook. If you're going to be there, you got to learn the playbook.
Well, it don't matter which side of the ball you're on, dude.
Right.
You have a super complex offense and a super complex defense. Either way you go, because Spags is kind of the equivalent of Andy Reid on the defensive side of the ball. Everybody knows it's tough to get all that down. So, I mean, that's the main thing they got to be doing is learning.
Right. Aaron Ladd reports, he says, first I got to learn the playbook. I can't help the team if I don't know what I'm doing. It's that simple. That's what these 3 days have been. Getting in, get reacclimated with the playbook, get the hang of things before the vets come in and take it to you for a few days, because that's what they're going to do. The vets are going to come in and put it on them for just a little bit. He also talked about Turk Wharton. He said Turk Wharton sent him a Quizlet so that he could learn the playbook. Kind of brilliant on Turk Wharton's part. I mean, Quizlet.
I like that just because Tershawn Wharton's had a lot of injury trouble over the last year and a half or so, and he's still going to be on the PUP list starting the season. It's cool to see that he's still doing what he can to help the team. I mean, whether it's just guiding these young guys or he's out there rehabbing, trying to get back into shape. But I love that attitude from him. I think that's a very Kansas City Chiefs thing right there, right? Because we always have a good locker room.
Right. Dude, I'm telling you, it was kind of a slow day. It really was a slow day. But I think it's the calm before the storm. That's what it is. That's what it is today. I know a lot of people are like, hey, it was boring, blah, blah, blah. Like, Clyde's kind of the news a little bit today somehow. I don't know how that happened. He's not even out there. Yeah, like people are talking about Clyde, like getting cut and getting traded and all this stuff. It's just not going to happen. I just don't see it. Echo Boydo come up to the mic. He was out there today. Pete Sweeney. Pete's who? Pete Sweeney says
what?
Roster. Pete what? Pete putting those mics down there in those weird places. Pete, come on. Roster and practice.
Hey, let's start calling those the Sweeney mics.
Okay. So they were speaking into the Sweeney, and Echo Boydo says he hails from Lawrence and played at K-State. That was the big news, and that he is from Ghana. I don't know why that was the big news out of this press conference. I thought we already knew this stuff.
Strange. We have no idea where this guy's from.
Right.
Can we find out? Like,
he's kind of like the Willie Mays Hayes. Like they had training camp, and he just gets out of bed and runs onto the field, and they're like, who? Like, we know who Echo Boydo is. Why are they trying to act like we don't know who he is?
He just flew out there in his pajamas mid-sprint.
Right. And apparently the only thing he said of any value is that he finds it a blessing he gets to play for the Chiefs because that's his hometown team. Apparently they didn't ask him anything of importance. I'm going to say if they did, he probably just said he needs to learn the playbook. That was the theme of the day, was playbook.
That's the sentiment from camp right now, as these young boys are learning the playbook. So
they are, man. Well, I'm going to play you some clips from the day then. How about that? We'll play some clips. We'll see what's up. This is the day 3 arrivals coming in today. Look at Rasheed out here, always hanging out with the quarterback.
It's Mike's favorite thing. It's his favorite time of the day, watching the guys walk.
I watch them come in. We're just, they're just coming in. They're having a little whatever. Felix was working.
Stroll.
Yeah, we'll play some stroll. Felix working on the bags a little bit. Here we go. Felix tearing those bags up, making that O-ring out there. We got Mike Caliendo doing a little work. Caliendo putting it on Wanye, just throwing them back.
Caliendo's been around for a while now. He's like silently, just there. You know what I'm saying? And I think he got some reps in a couple years ago when our offensive line was all injury.
Caliendo was this close to making the team last year. If he was to sneak himself on, if he could be that fullback switch over, they could take 10 offensive linemen. It could be Caliendo. Would not surprise me one bit. But here's another. This is a longer highlight clip. This is going to show just about everything we could get our hands on today. We got a little bit of punt returns and kickoff returns from Deneric Prince. You'll see some DBs doing some work and different things. They're stretching. I'll play it for you. Here we go. Day 3.
Day 3.
We got a Bushell out there, a lot of coon out here playing.
Is that how you say this guy's name? I still haven't figured that out.
That's the way I'm going. I'm going with that one. To be honest, look, he throws a pretty good ball. Like, the form is good.
Is this the guy that was from like Canadian football?
Yeah, he played in the CFL a little bit. We got a little lineman working, getting it back there. Bushell doing the fadeaway. Ty Freifogel. By the way, shout out Freifogel. He followed All Chiefed Up. Freifogel is a fan of the channel, baby. Here we go. We got the defense working, getting after it. They were doing that drill when we were there last year. Spags loves doing that. We got Big Red having a gander. Man, we got taking some kickoffs here.
Returns.
Yeah, we think Denard Prince is probably going to get this work. We think he's going to make the team.
He's going to be the kick returner.
Right. Coca-Cola Crawford, check it out. Coca-Cola with the catch, and he's gone. Back to the big uglies working a little bit. They're just out here grinding today. I think it was an easier day. It seemed to me they just done individual kind of like one-on-one drills.
Right. Well, less people, the weather's cooler. It's
look
Friday. I feel like it was more laid back, right?
Right. This is just a drill you do at the combine. Just working on some hip movement. Just seeing if his hips move properly and how his turn is.
Yep.
Yeah, so it felt like an easy day. I will say these defensive ends getting after it over here, man.
There are no easy days for these guys. They're not taking no time off. Like these young guys, they're putting in the work, dude.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
That's the majority of the highlights for the day. Again, it was a very easy day. It was laid back.
Rasheed Rice didn't make the headlines today. What's up with that, man? He's been the star of the show for the first 2 days.
Right.
Third day, Rasheed Rice, he fled to the shadows. Let somebody else take it. But shout out Rasheed Rice. He also shared the video from yesterday on Twitter.
Rasheed Rice is a
watching.
Fan. I got
Rice
it right
watching,
here,
baby.
It was retweeted and shared by Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice is a fan of All Chiefed Up. He helped us promote the video yesterday. We said he had a hell of a catch. Rasheed Rice is looked good so far, Steve. He was blowing chunks on day one. Everybody was taking it out of proportion.
Right.
They said, look,
of course.
he didn't run. He can't do this. Man, it was hot. The dude's working hard. You're gonna hurl a little bit. If he hurls, guess what? Somebody else is gonna blow chunks. Man. I bet you it went around. I would have. If I'd have been there and I'd have heard him gag, I'd have lost it. I'd have been hurling in the trash can.
Well, Andy kind of foresaw all this happening, right? He even said a long time ago, hey, Rasheed's got to get some sprinting in. He's got to get some running in, make sure he's ready to go. Andy knows these young guys have it cut out for them, right? They have to get out there and really condition themselves. So nothing surprising about that at all. But, he still had a good day, and then he bounced back the second day with an even better day. So, Rasheed Rice is on the right path, man.
Rasheed Rice, I'm going to show him do a little bit of work from yesterday. Here it is. He's doing a little bit of a route, little just here and there, turning around. Ty Freifogel makes an appearance in this video too. He's got some good feet to be so big. Quick feet. He's a taller guy. And then we got the touchdown grab that Rasheed Rice mossed somebody on yesterday, which was just flat out awesome.
Those are the type of catches. Those are the type of catches I'm excited to start seeing, man. Like if Mahomes can add that to his arsenal to where he can just, hey, I don't have a whole lot going on. Let me throw this ball up, and I think my receiver can get it.
Don't you feel like a lot of the wide receivers this year are capable? I think you see that from him.
He does have that. He has that relationship with Travis Kelce, and that's why him and Travis Kelce has such a good connection. Because sometimes they can go off script, and he can just throw the ball up there, and Kelce will come down with it. If he can get one more receiver on the team that he's that comfortable with, man,
I think he builds the trust. I think this year he builds the trust with MVS a little more. I think MVS can do that. He's got to get better at it. He's got to get stronger hands at the top. But I think he can do it, and I don't put it by him. But like I said, Justin Ross is a guy that can do this. We've now seen Rasheed Rice come in and do it. You're not going to get this kind of stuff from Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore. They're different kinds of receivers. You're not really going to get it from Justin Watson. You're not going to get it from John Ross. You're not going to get it from those guys, but you're going to get it from the taller guys, the bigger guys, and that's what we need. Is Rice necessarily big enough to be considered a true X receiver? No. I don't think he is.
Is he not? What is he? He's at least 6 feet tall. He might be 6'1".
I think he's 6 to 6'1", somewhere in that range, depending on whatever. He's already got himself. He's got himself down to 200.
How big is Stephon Diggs?
I'm not for sure. Do you call Stephon Diggs a true X though? He's just an elite receiver, right?
I think so, though. I think they can play that position. You have to think.
I want to get it right.
I think Rasheed Rice can be that.
Stephon Diggs is 6 foot 194. So yeah, he's about the size of Rasheed Rice. They're
pretty close. I think he can do it, man. I don't think the extra inch or so is that big of a deal, to be honest. As long as he's attacking the ball and everything like that, I think we're all good.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they'll be fine. But looking back on it, Steve, we've had 3 days under our belts. They get a day off tomorrow. Sunday, they're going to be back full. Who do you think for you has stood out the most in these 3 days as the rookies? And there's been some vets here. Patrick Mahomes has been here. You've seen Shane Buechele. You've seen Mike Edwards. Who stuck out for you? Is it just Rasheed Rice?
The receivers are the hot topic, right? And I think there's 2 guys that really stuck out. Rashee Rice being the first one, I think he's made the most noise so far, and I think he's had the most hype so far, which is warranted. He's our second-round draft pick wide receiver that everybody wanted so bad, right? Not necessarily they wanted him, but they wanted a wide receiver in this draft.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think he's shown a little bit of, a glimpse of what he can do. And then I also think Nico Remigio did himself a good service the first day by getting out there, making a good catch, getting in good. If you saw him, he was always on Patrick Mahomes' hip or Andy Reid's hip. He's trying to make himself known because he's got an uphill battle to make this roster. So I think those are the ones that really stick out to me.
Yeah, Nico. I think Nico's there on day one. Rashee Rice stuck out for the wrong reasons, kinda, if you want to go out. But the second day he redeemed himself. He looked good yesterday. He caught like 7 or 8 passes and 7-on-7s. He caught a touchdown, maybe 2 in the drills. I don't know what he did today. I don't know if he done anything. I don't know if they actually ran certain routes against the defense. Right. But yeah, I'll give it to those two, and I will say I'll throw in another guy. There was another guy I was thinking of. Oh yeah, Deneric Prince. I think Deneric Prince has done pretty well this, in these early 3 days.
Right. For sure. Let's go ahead and get to the chat. Terry says, "Hey, world champions, ACU chat mates. What's up, Terry? Good to see you. Glad you could make it in for the little camp update.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Man, there's some questions up here. I got to scroll back up because we were on a tangent. But Lewis says, can Tony stay healthy? Can MVS finally show up and prove he can learn the playbook? Can John Ross prove he's a wide receiver and not a loser? And can Moore show up and play better in season 2? So let's break this down, man. Kadarius Toney, can he stay healthy? That's the $1 million question right now. Just 100%. Yeah. If everyone knew 100% that Kadarius Toney was going to be healthy on the field every game this year, nobody would worry about the wide receiver room as much. But that's it. And can he do it? I think he showed when he got to the Chiefs that he has the ability to play long stretches of games without. But he did still take a game or two off with the Chiefs for a hamstring. So it's still questionable. It's yet to be seen, Lewis. We just got to see how that goes. MVS, yes, I think MVS did okay last season. I don't think that he didn't know the playbook necessarily. I just think him and Mahomes didn't have that off-script chemistry that they needed to have, which could come together more in the offseason. John Ross, it's a complete uphill battle to make this roster. I mean, he's just fast. That's it. He's never shown anything else in his career. And Sky Moore will be better in year 2. He's going to get more opportunities. So that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. I just like the fact that you called Kadarius Toney Stoney. And
I did at first.
I thought that was great. I didn't want to interrupt. I think that could be his nickname. It's kind of a combination. Kadarius Toney Stoney. I like it. Scott TG says, you guys are the bomb diggity. Love the recaps and coverage you provide. Appreciate you being here, Scott. We try. We can't guarantee everything every day, but we'll either do lives and videos or just videos. There's going to be something.
Whatever we can fit in, man.
Right. He also says, I think MVS could find his way out of the mix. The wide receiver, not this year, Scott. I don't think so. I think he's locked this year. I think he's locked. I think he's definitely locked in this year. Next year there's an out, but I mean, MVS is a core, top 3? MVS could possibly be our number 1 if you would just want to look at complete overall, experience, I guess.
If there's 2 things with MVS, man, if he could start attacking the ball more and high pointing the ball and being a little more aggressive, his game would improve so much. He'd be a whole different beast. And then on top of that, if he can get his chemistry together with Mahomes where they're on the same page more and Mahomes isn't missing him on deep passes, or he's not, maybe running the wrong route or just not connecting the way they should be. If those 2 things could line up, he'd get more aggressive and get on the same page as Mahomes. I mean, the sky's the limit for MVS. I think he could go off.
Right. Ruby says Fry Fogel is the new Dieter. Is he? I don't even know if he'll be the new Dieter. You think he'll be around all these years?
Who was everyone calling? Oh, everyone was calling Justin Watson the new Dieter a while back.
When
Ruby,
they're kind of similar, right?
Used to say Justin was mid, so.
Yeah, for sure. Dez says when they put the pads on, not 100% sure. I don't know. It'll be within the next few weeks. They got to get them on soon. You've got a preseason game coming on the 13th, I think. So what is that? Literally like 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, they got to be coming on soon. I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe I can Google it. I don't know. Let's see. Everybody's still talking about Ty, man. Or not Ty. Ty's talking to everybody about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm seeing Clyde. I'm seeing Lewis. Everybody's talking about Clyde. I just don't see how Clyde's not making this team. It doesn't make any sense. Even if you trade him, what are you getting out of Clyde? You're just not getting enough. I don't care if they offer you just a ham sandwich. I mean, any normal time we'd be like, cool, trade him. But I mean, in this year, I just don't think you can do that with the uncertainty.
Right. And then I see some people talking about the Chris Jones extension as well. I don't think there's any way Chris Jones don't play for the Chiefs. A trade's out of the question. Like we've talked about this before, there's no trade that's good enough to trade off Chris Jones. So I think they'll either get an extension done or he's going to play this year without having an extension done, and they can still tag him the year after that. So it's not something that has to happen like ASAP, but it would be nice to free up some of the cap space. So we'll see how that plays out. But I would lean towards they'll get something done here soon. That'd be my guess. Brent says Nick Jones has a real chance of making the roster. Yeah, he does. He's one of those bubble players, though. He's got to really show out because him, Najee Johnson, there's a lot of guys, Khalif Hallisey, Echo Boy Joe. There's so many of those guys that are going to have to show out to make this roster because we're so deep in the DB room.
Yeah, I thought Nick Jones has a good shot of making it. I really do. But he's kind of in the same situation as do we see him being a 7th round pick like Jalen Watson, or do we see him being more like Najee last year? And the reason that the fact that we hit on so many last year, you know what I mean? Like we had McDuffie, we had Jalen Watson, we had Josh Williams.
Right.
There's 3 automatically built in. You've automatically got Snead coming back. So you've really only got 2, maybe 3 slots for the corner position. And if Najee, and he's worked himself into a big-time special teams row, I think Nick Jones and Najee are the 2 going at it to make that final spot. So it wouldn't surprise me if Najee don't get the nod and Nick Jones goes to practice squad this year. But
could be. We'll see how that goes.
We'll
see how that goes.
Yeah, I like Nick Jones.
That's an interesting watch for camp is that cornerback room. So Terry says, I got a good feeling about Prince. I think that's the sentiment with a lot of Chiefs Kingdom is Prince just, I don't know, man. You just see the guy, even if it's just him running drills, like you realize how big this guy is, how athletic this guy is. The hype is there for a reason. And I think he's definitely going to be on the roster. So, I mean, if he gets some opportunities, we'll see what he does with them.
Yeah, I think Deneric Prince is firmly on right now. He's at 98, 99%, about as high as you can get besides, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I've got him up there. He's in the high 90s. I just don't think there's any reason you don't take him. We usually take 4 running backs anyway. Is LaMichael Piron going to beat him off the roster? I don't think so. Could it happen? Yeah, I guess. I could have egg on my face. I just don't see it happening. Lou is talking about the wide receivers in Madden 24. Tony's our highest one, ranked 81. Yeah, of course. They don't.
That's fair, though, I would say.
I mean, but think about it. They've got Patrick Mahomes at a 99. They didn't even have enough nerve to put the best quarterback in the game, possibly ever, at a 100. Like, you're out of your mind.
It doesn't go to 100.
I thought Kelce got the 100.
No, 99 club.
Okay, so 99 club.
High as it goes.
So it's as high as it goes. So they don't give anybody 100. Well, if anybody should get 100, it should have been Mahomes. Mahomes should be like 105. They can make an
exception. I'm with you, Mike. They should have made an exception, and he should be a 100.
Mahomes should be 105.
Just change the game for Mahomes.
Yeah, why not? It's just one of those things. But yeah, okay. I haven't played Madden in so long. For some reason, I was thinking there used to be players at 100, but maybe not.
Right. KL says that he looked through Sweeney's old tweets and last year, and they put the pads on after the first set of 3-day practices. So could be soon, man.
Right. So they won't immediately go to 3-day practice. I don't think they do 3. They don't do 3 a day. So what am I talking about?
3-day
practices. So you're saying after the first 3 days? That seems a little early, but I don't know. I mean, who knows? They're always changing the rules. They really are.
What's up, Tommy? He says Nico Remigio is going to be the dark horse who we hope passes waivers on the practice squad. He is very versatile in this offense, and that goes a long way. You're 100% right, Tommy. I think that Nico, like we said, he's got a uphill battle. He's got to climb a mountain to make this roster with that receiver room the way it is. But he does show that he's very electric and he's a playmaker, and I think he would be good for this offense. So I'm with you, man. I hope that he can pass through waivers and be put on the practice squad. That way, if we need him, if there are injuries or anything like that, hey, we know we got a guy that can really make some plays on the practice squad.
Yeah, Nico, it's probably not going to make the team. I mean, everybody's still saying 7 wide, but we're still not for sure. Can't you only dress? I don't know how it works. Can't you only dress 5 wide receivers on game day? Isn't that the way it works?
I don't know.
But either way, we're not guaranteed they're even taking 7. So it's a pretty uphill climb. So, yeah, I do think Nico will get a chance to go to practice squad. He does have to clear waivers. I think he's going to play somewhere this year. Somebody pick him up. He can play. I mean, then again, you never know. Like, to be honest, we like him and everything, and he could show out, but you could go somewhere else. I mean, look, we all liked the running back here. Who's the running back we all liked a couple years ago? Got a little bit, and then he went to the Saints. Saints ended up cutting him, never used him. We kind of thought.
Gore.
Yeah. And see, everybody, like, we liked Derek Gore here, but he went to the Saints, and the Saints didn't even use him. He got cut again.
I mean,
so.
That's the thing, man. We got Chiefs Kingdom digs so far into this stuff, and there's a lot of people out there that don't pay attention to their team's training camps and things like that, or their practice squads. They don't care. They just want to turn the game on Sunday and watch it and be done with it. But we dive in so far. It's just that we actually start talking about these guys that may not be talked about on other teams, like a Derek Gore per se. Like, we start thinking he's a little bit better than he might actually be, because that's just somebody that we see, and he does something good in camp or a preseason game, and we take it to the next level. But it just is what it is. Lewis says Chris Jones isn't signed next year. You could tag him and trade him. Well, he signed through this year. Next year you could tag him. I just don't see a Chris Jones trade. I don't think that'll be a thing. I think he's too, vital to the team. The defense becomes a complete different defense without Chris Jones, because he's our game maker. He's the guy that changes everything. He's the guy that the Chiefs have that teams have to game plan for. So I really don't see them getting rid of him. I think he's part of those untouchables like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I just think that's just how it is. So don't think I'll see that happening. A lot of people said they would trade him. They would consider trading him for 2 first-round picks or this or that. And, he could garner that much. But the thing about it is do you really want to do that? Because how many first-round picks is it going to take for you to hit on a guy that can deliver what Chris Jones delivers to you? It's like playing lottery. I mean, he's almost a generational type player that you can't just replace with just anybody. He's just on another level. That's all there is to it. Let me check down through here, see if I can find any more questions. Lewis says that Chris Jones is 29 years old, soon to be 30. How many years do you think he can play at the top? I think Chris Jones, with his game, I don't see why he couldn't play at prime level, at least for, he's 29. I'd say 33 years old. I give him about 33. So I'd say he's got about 4 more good years in him at peak. And then he's still going to be able to put in some reps as long as he wants to after that. Yeah, like I said, I just don't think Chris Jones is one of those guys that you should think about replacing whatsoever. So definitely would not consider that. Ruby says Connor could be a better version of Snead. That's possible. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of people love L'Jarius Snead, so I just don't think that he's going to get re-signed after this coming season. He's on his contract year. I think he's going to ball out if he does play with the Chiefs throughout the whole season. He's going to get a bag somewhere. Like, somebody's going to do it. We saw it with Lil Mooney last year. You just can't pay everybody, and usually the Chiefs don't pay those cornerbacks. That's usually the difference right there. Especially when our cornerback room is so deep, there's just no reason for it. To pay him a big chunk of money on a big contract, because Snead's going to make some money somewhere, and rightfully so. But I just don't think it'll be the Chiefs to give him that contract.
Sorry to leave you hanging. Sorry to leave you. I had a phone call I had to take. Sorry, it was an important one. But yeah, I'm with you.
It better have been the president of the United States, Mike.
It was the police. Dun, dun. No, but yeah, I'll tell you. I think Tamari Connor has a chance, and I'm with you. I think the whole Snead thing, we all like Snead. That's cool. Like, we love Snead here. I have no problem if we keep Snead. If we extend Snead, cool. I'm down with it. It's just one of those things where it's like, if you look at history, don't bode well for him to get the big payday here, to be honest. But, yeah, man, I'll let you get back to it. Sorry, just had to get in on Snead a little bit.
Well, Chief Kelce was letting you know that you can dress as many wide receivers as the team wants. That's on the 53-man roster, so there's no limit on anything like that.
Okay.
So yeah, we talked about Chris Jones a little bit while you were gone. A lot of people talking about potentially him getting traded Or like Lewis, he pointed out that he's 29 years old. How long is he going to play at top form? Should the Chiefs just let him play out this year, tag him next year, and then potentially trade him off after that at 31 years old? I mean, that's not a okay. It's a terrible idea because it's Chris Jones, but in other things, it's not a terrible idea.
Right.
Like if it was just your typical good defensive tackle, then yeah, that might be a strategy to take. But I think Chris Jones is just on another level, so that's why I just don't think he's traded.
I think Chris Jones plays pretty well and at a high level. I mean, look, you're seeing Ndamukong Suh play up until he's 300 years old. I mean,
right.
I think Chris Jones is going to be very productive, like elite productive for at least the next 2 to 3 years. And then after that, it'll gradually go down. I would say he's decently like good, above good till 34, 35. And to be honest, it's one of those things where it's like, I get it's a team game and this and that, but at what point does it become like you reward players that want to be here? You know what I mean? Like, just always don't give up on people for money and this and that. Like, just let him be a lifer, work it out. If he'll work the contract, do it. You don't want a whole nother Justin Houston situation. You know what I mean? Because like he signed that big deal and then they all fought over it and then there was bad blood. You get tired of that with the organization a little bit.
Lewis says he'd keep Snead over several of the cornerbacks. That might be the case, Lewis, but several of the cornerbacks aren't on their contract year. That's just right. That's the thing. Like I think
you got 3 in their second year. So
if I'm picking out of our cornerbacks, there's only one guy that I would keep over L'Jarius Sneed right now. If everything was just, hey, pick them and you get to keep them, and that's Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
As far as the other guys go, they're not on that level like yet, but can they be later on? Sure. Josh Williams, Jalen Watson, but they got some work to do, man. And right now he is I would go ahead and say that right now he's our best corner, but he won't be for long with Trent McDuffie there. But the thing about it is, man, it's just you have so much lined up. You have so much ready to go. Chamari Connor can play the corner position. You got Nick Jones. And then those UDFAs we've talked about that are all pretty good.
Well, you got Najee Johnson. Like we always forget
Najee Johnson plays he's a safety, but he's been playing a lot of corner as well. So he's kind of like Connor.
Him
can go back
Connor,
and forth.
Yeah. They go back and
forth.
forth.
So I mean that's the only thing with Snead Lewis is just the fact that he's on his contract year, and I just don't think that we're going to give him $100 million over 5 years or something crazy. Like it's just not going to happen.
Yep. Tommy says, has the press conference been released for the players today? I don't know if they've actually released them to the public, but yeah, they did talk earlier today. I can go back through them really quick if you want. Deneric Prince was up on the mic. Let me go ahead and take
the Sweeney mic.
The Sweeney mic. Yeah. So Deneric Prince come up. He said he feels like he's an every down back. He said he likes to fall asleep reading his playbook. And he could be in line.
not out of boredom. Right. Just he's working so hard he gets tired and falls asleep.
Yeah, for sure. And he said he thinks the most challenging part of the college to pro game has been the playbook emphasis and the emphasis on technique. So I mean, pretty. You're going to see a theme. Keandre Coburn come up and he said that he's undefeated against K-State. He's been ripping some of the teammates, and he said that he's got to learn the playbook if he's going to help the team. That's the first thing he's got to do. And then he revealed that Turk Wharton sent him a Quizlet to help him learn the playbook, which was kind of brilliant. And then the last guy up today was Echo Boy-Doe. Echo Boy-Doe come up, and basically he let everybody know that he was a hometown kid. He found it to be a blessing. He gets to play for the Chiefs. And they made a big deal that he was from Ghana. Like, we didn't know that, but we already knew it. So that was the 3 today. And then I think, honestly, back at wherever, they had another press conference set up. The president of the Chiefs, Mark Donovan, spoke today. He talked about training camp. He said they've sold 80,000 tickets for camp, and that the max is like 7,000 per day. And they say this could be the most attended Chiefs camp there's been. Me and Steve went the year they won the Super Bowl. Good Lord, it was packed that day. Do you remember that?
It was did we go? No, we went the year they won Super Bowl 54. It wasn't it wasn't right after that. It was before they won it.
Right, and it was
packed. So I mean,
packed.
After they won the Super Bowl, you can imagine how that goes.
Yeah, but you know what? Got a weekend ticket.
The best thing that come from the Mark Donovan talk was the fact that he said that Arrowhead's still structurally sound, and they spend a lot of money on that every year to make sure that it is, and that they are all leaning towards more renovations and making Arrowhead better than going to a new stadium. So that's good news, because with the Chiefs being so successful lately and the money that they're pouring in there, I really thought they were going to start looking at something different, and I'm glad that they don't. I'm glad that they're talking about just renovating and making that better. I say they throw a roof on that thing and just let it roll, baby. You got to keep Arrowhead intact.
Yeah, I feel like that would be my choice. My choice would be that. This is it. Chief Mark Donovan said the club is still in progress of making plans with the Royals about facilities, calls it a process. Our preference is for us to upgrade and renovate the stadium at Arrowhead and make Geha Field, Geha Field, even better. Says Arrowhead is still, I don't know. We couldn't click the got more. But yeah, the point is that they are looking to do it. The quote I found funny is that Clark Hunt come in and said something about 2026, they're doing the World Cup. I think they may be hosting it, or I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
I feel like last time in America, they just had them play in a lot of different places. So I don't know if everybody's going to be there. They're just going to host some games. I don't know how it works.
It's going to be in Kansas City, yeah.
Okay, so they're going to do that. So they're going to make upgrades for that. They're making upgrades for Chief fans. And he just told them to figure it out. They got to get it upgraded by 2026, figure it out. And he said he had a laugh at that because Clark Hunt's just like, figure it out. And
it's nice to be the owner, right? Hey, y'all, this is what I want. Get it done.
Don't they have to put a top on it? I mean, I hate it because Arrowhead's known to be the loud outdoor stadium. But if you want the Super Bowl, if you want stuff like that, they're gonna eventually make them put a dome on it. And I don't love the idea. Like, do you just half dome it like Seattle? And then if you do that, what happens? You don't get the Super Bowl? Like, because I feel like that's why they're doing it.
Well, the new thing is retractables, so that's all a lot of new people are doing. So maybe it'll be something like that where they can still have it just like it's always been. But if they need to host something like that, they can throw it over.
Okay, they usually have fields where they can roll the field in and out, right? The turf, they'll let it go out. Roll back in. Wonder if you could roll. Is there a stadium where they could roll the top over the? Like, was that a concept, or did somebody actually do it?
2023. It's 2023. No reason why you couldn't have some kind of retractable roof. I think Mercedes-Benz Stadium, if I'm not mistaken, has a retractable roof. I'm not for sure. I'd have to look into that. I know there's some out there.
Let's just, I don't know, man. Let's just come up with something inventive. Let's come up with like a new technology where it's like a clear.
Let's get Elon Musk involved and see what he can come up with.
Let's get Elon in here and see if he can fix it. I don't know. He'll probably make us pay for it.
It's that big of a problem. Okay?
We're going to pay for it anyway, but it's okay. But yeah, man, day 3 wrapped up, Steve. It was pretty uneventful for the people coming in. It was kind of a walkthrough kind of day. The vets are showing up tonight. They moved that up a day. They're still not practicing. They'll have their first practice on Sunday. The public's allowed to come in, I think, on Sunday. But this wraps up the rookie QB portion of it, man. And we had talked earlier. Rashee Rice was a standout this week, we believe. Nico Remillo was a standout this week. Shamari Connor looked pretty good. Nick Jones had flashes. I think the linebackers looked good. I think everybody had a pretty good 3 days. I wouldn't consider anybody that we've seen that just had a failure over the 3 days. I wouldn't think.
Right. Yep. Nope. Not at all. Been good so far. It is what it is. Nothing crazy. Ty says, did you guys sell out on the 50 tickets yet? No, but they are going pretty fast, faster than we expected, actually. So
yeah.
What he's referring to is that we are having a meet and greet at Zarda in Blue Springs on August 15th at 7 p.m. Let me move this comment real quick and you guys can see that. It's from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Zarda in Blue Spring. It's just a hangout. We're going to hang out with whoever can come show up. The reason why there's ticket sales, they're just $10. It's for the room at Zarda, and there's a 50 capacity. So we can't have more than 50 people in there by fire code. So that's why we have to do the tickets and cap it. So if you guys would like to do that, if you live in the area and that's something you want to do, we got a lot of the ACU crew coming. We're going to be there, obviously. And then we have special guest Haley Lewis from you'll know her from being a Chiefs reporter, locker room. She got to see a lot of stuff when she was with the Chiefs. So she's a cool person to talk to about that kind of thing. And then also Lance Twidwell from the Spoken. He's a guest that will be there as well. We are talking to other guests, but none have confirmed yet. But we have some that are pretty excited to get there. So hopefully we can confirm those soon. But if that's something you want to do, you want to hang out with a bunch of Chiefs fans and just have fun, it's going to be pretty informal, nothing crazy. And if you buy the $10 ticket and you show up, we are going to have a gift for each one of you as well for coming. So that'll be fun. That'll be a fun time. So that's what Ty was referring to there.
Yeah. So if you want a ticket, it's bit.ly/ACUTIX. ACU Tix. You'll see it scrolling at the bottom. It's going to be the Zarda Blue Springs location, August 15th, 7 to 9. So, tickets are selling fast. So if you want to go, grab it. We recommend it. It's going to be fun. Yeah, we're actually talking to some ex-players, different things. We're throwing it out. We're trying to see what we can get at work, but everybody's schedules are conflicting. Some people are at camp. Some people can't get back from St. Joe. So it's just one of those things. But we already have 2 confirmed, and yeah, we're probably going to get a lot more people there. So it is going to be a good time, man. We just look forward to seeing you guys having some barbecue.
Right. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. So y'all should definitely come hang if you can. I know a lot of people are in the area, so if that's a thing, it's all good. But we're not in the area either, but that's where we're going to be at camp that morning too. So if you go to the camp on the 15th, keep a lookout. You can say hi to us while we're there.
Yeah. Casey says, I don't think KC meets 100% of the criteria to have a Super Bowl. Yeah, the stadium. I think that's it. I think if they get the Dome Stadium, I think they would be in the running. I don't know if they'd get it because you got to place a bid and then whatever. But I think that might be it. I'm not 100% for sure, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I've been wrong about other things.
I don't know what it all is either.
Idea. I don't know what the criteria would be. They usually like to play it in nice, warm climates. I get that. So maybe that could be it because it's cold in KC. I don't know. Tommy asked, do you guys have a dark horse player that can make the 53-man roster that no one is talking about? That's a good question. I feel like at this point we've probably talked about every single player in the world.
Man, I don't know. The Khalif Hallisey's the one I always go with. No one's really talking about him but me. I think he's a good cornerback. He's L'Jarius Sneed-esque. I think he offers you length and speed, and he's a ball hawk, and he will hit you. Like, he's that type of player. We saw him at Western Kentucky University. He was very good there. We kind of thought that they were going to draft him in the 7th round-ish. That's where I had him projected. They did not. Then I was like, well, they'll at least sign him as a UDFA. And then he ended up supposedly going to the Jets, and then all of a sudden he was a UDFA for the Chiefs. So I was like, hey, it all worked out. He's here. But I think they see the same things that I do. So that would be my dark horse player that nobody else is talking about but us here.
Yeah, I would say not the sexiest of picks, but I would say maybe Mike Caliendo on the offensive line. I think that could be a surprise one. Truman Jones, defensive end. I think he may have a decent camp, and he could probably get his way on. He's got to beat out Malik Herring and, Joshua Kando. Might not be that hard. He may be able to do it. Other than that, if you go wide receiver, I don't know. I'll say Nico Remigio slides in. But we've talked about him. I don't think Nico Remigio is going to get there, but I will say if he did, it wouldn't surprise me. He's that good. I think they could see a lot from him. Let's see.
We appreciate you, Ty, doing the mod stuff. We appreciate you, man. I see you doing your work there. Brian Parrott's in the house. Look who decided to show up.
Yeah. What's up, Brian Parrott?
All right, we'll probably be here for a few more minutes. So if you have any questions, go ahead and throw those in the chat. We just wanted to come on here and give you a quick day 3 update. Wasn't like a huge day, nothing crazy, but we still wanted to update everybody, let everybody know what happened. And it's fun that football's actually back in. The Chiefs are together. So anything we can report on, we might randomly go live and get on here and just chat with you guys. So be on the lookout for those. It won't be every day, but we will try to do it as much as possible. And we'll still have our regular podcast releasing as well. So,
yeah, for sure. Wait, Brian says, y'all ain't going to wait for me to make my way home through Jayhawk Hill. Couldn't, Brian. We jumped on so fast, we wasn't even prepared for it. Like, we just had to throw it together, and we said, let's do it. Let's do it. So, yeah, man, that's what we were doing. What's Kevin Capel talking about? He said Rich Slapnuts Eisen says Chiefs. Okay, my bad, because it shows it weird. Rich Eisen says Chiefs are getting shocked by the Lions. A lot of people are, they're throwing the Lions out, but the Lions are decent.
That's team. I guess that's like a hill to stand on, I guess.
Isn't that going to be the new thing for the whole offseason, though, by the media? Now that Chiefs...
that's what I was saying. That's what the media has, because the Lions are getting better. We all know they're an up-and-coming team, so why not go ahead and say this, because it's a little shocking. And could it happen? Yeah, it very well could. If the Chiefs don't show up and play at the best of their ability, the Lions could shock them. So that's something that these guys are going to be saying. So just, we'll get used to that one. But I think we're always used to the Chiefs, not getting respected the way they should. Lewis says they're still saying that the Ravens will unseat the Chiefs for the number 1 seed. The Ravens are overrated every year. They're just one of those teams. I'd be surprised. I'd be very, very surprised. It'd be like winning the lottery for them if Lamar Jackson and OBJ could both stay on the field the entire season.
Right.
And then, of course, J.K. Dobbins, he has injury history as well. None of their other receivers are that great. They did draft Zay Flowers. We'll see how he works out for them. But, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I don't think that they are not the team I'd be worried about unseating the Chiefs.
Right. KL368 says he couldn't DM us the tweet, but he found that it said the pads come on August 1st. That makes sense. That makes more sense because, like, I don't think it's the first week. So, yeah, they'll get a full weekend. Soon. So, yeah, it'll be here before we know it, man. It's all kind of flown by, but it's been so slow, too. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Let's see what Tom – oh, sorry, man.
I clicked the same one
you doing this one?
No, Tommy.
Oh.
He said, do you guys see a little bit of a change with Matt Nagy as an offensive coordinator? I know it's Reid's offense, but we could see any changes this year. Yeah, for sure. I think there'll be a little bit of changes. I think Matt Nagy's a very good offensive coordinator. I mean, personally, we had been wanting to see them get back to Matt Nagy. No shade at Eric Bieniemy, but I feel like that Matt Nagy's a better fit. I feel like that Mahomes has a better relationship with Matt Nagy. I think Matt Nagy, I don't know. I feel like he's got a less polarizing, personality and attitude. I think the players will be better with Matt Nagy. Just put it that way.
Yeah. Sorry, I had something I was going to bring up, but then it just refreshed on me. Man, sometimes, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, Matt Nagy was the offensive coordinator back. It was Patrick Mahomes' rookie season. Of course, he was not playing, but he was the offensive coordinator that year. Right. We've seen, kind of his style back with Alex Smith and everything. Now, and you saw that Alex Smith started taking more deep shots than he ever had in his career when Tyreek Hill got there. So you know that Matt Nagy's not afraid to take those big shots, but he's also not afraid to run the ball and set a tone. So I think it'll be a good thing.
Right. Brenda, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Have a good night. We will see you at the tailgate.
Take it easy, Brenda.
Yeah, so if you guys like the live streams, we do Saturday night tailgates. We'll be back on Saturday night. Keep a lookout for those. They usually start about 10 p.m. Eastern time, I think is about the time. So
we do the Wednesday War Room, which is usually about 8 to 10 p.m. and on Wednesdays, and then the Saturday night tailgate, like you said, 10 to 12 a.m. So yeah, if you guys like that, and also let us know if you like these random camp updates live. If you do, we'll continue to do them, but we're still going to be doing our full-on podcast as much as possible. But yeah, let us know if y'all like this kind of thing. If so, we'll get on here and do it for you. But if not, then we're not going to waste our time. So just give us some feedback on that, and we'll let you know.
Hulsey asks, anyone that you see as a surprise cut? Off the top of my head, I know people's going to say Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I just don't see it. I do not see that. I give that like a 2% chance. I would say surprise cut. Do you consider Malik Herring a surprise cut? He didn't make the team last year, but maybe him.
Derek Nottie might be a surprise, but maybe.
Don't see that one either.
I don't think they will. I think they just like what they have there, and they signed him for the year. So
Deion Bush?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Surprise cut. I don't know if there'll be any real surprise cuts. Justin Watson, I guess, could be a surprise cut.
Yeah, that could be one. Or Richie James, either one, just depends. If any of these guys was to go into camp and have some kind of like weird nagging like hammy injury or something where they can't actually compete for those spots, you may see it because Fountain was good last year, remember? And then Fountain was battling injuries.
Lucas Niang, that's a good one. And Kevin Capel says Blake Bell. Yeah, those are both possibilities. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if they'll have any surprise cuts, but we will see.
Yeah, Blake Bell. Kevin Capel says Blake Bell. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Don't we usually take 4 tight ends, though? So, I mean, would they take the other guy? I know everybody was, like, big on, who is it, Kendall
Bushman
or Bushman?
And Bushman, yeah, both of those. So, we'll see. But I think it's Noah Gray season, baby. I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more Noah Gray. Maybe Jody Fortson if he can stay healthy and on the field. So I just think they got to pull back on Kels just a little bit this year. But yeah, Mike, you got anything else for them today, or are we heading out, baby?
Not really. I was just gonna say Lewis. He says Clyde wouldn't be a shock of a cut. I think at this point, with all we know about Pacheco, I think it really would be a shock at this point for me. I just really do. So, but yeah, man, that's probably gonna wrap it up for today. We appreciate it, and I know a lot of you guys are saying that you like these, so cool. We'll continue to do them if we got the time or whatever. Be on the lookout. We do videos every day too, and we appreciate you guys. Hit the like on the way out, and if you haven't subbed already, click that sub button and click that bell, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.